Have you ever actually stopped to wonder about humanity's ultimate role in a chaotic universe? Like, are we just passive observers sitting in a vast, indifferent cosmos? Or do we actually have a literal cosmic responsibility to keep everything running? Well, let's explore a really fascinating worldview that firmly believes it is absolutely the latter. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the complex Eastern cosmology of Dae-Sun Jinri Ho. We're going to explore the incredibly intricate concept of the three realms, and we'll be grounding all these esoteric ideas in modern academic analysis, drawing specifically on the really insightful research of scholar Choi Won-hyuk. So, here is a roadmap for today. 1. The origin of everything. 2. The three realms. 3. A universe in chaos. And 4. The power of humanity. Let's jump right in. All right, Section 1. The origin of everything, going from Mugek to actual creation. In this Eastern cosmological framework, the ultimate limitless starting point is known as Mujek. Think of it as existing way, way above even the highest heavens. It's often conceptualized as a perfect circle, which basically symbolizes the absolute origin of the universe and this pure, unadulterated energy that they call Wan Qi. And from that exact origin, we get Dasan. Now, this literally translates to a great tour or a great circulation. But listen, this is definitely not a vacation. It's a massive, all-encompassing survey of existence. It's the active observation of truth across the absolute entirety of the three realms. That's heaven, earth, and humanity. So how on earth did we get from that one infinite circle to the incredibly complex universe we're sitting in right now? Well, the ancient philosopher Laozi laid out this brilliantly logical sequence. The limitless Tao creates the one, that's that pure energy. The one then divides to create the two, which is the fundamental duality of heaven and earth. The two then combine to create the three, heaven, earth, and humanity. And finally, that triad creates literally all the myriad things in existence. It's just this beautifully logical expansion. Moving right along to Section 2, the three realms, or the actual mechanics of the cosmos. Now, in ancient Eastern thought, the major religions actually aren't just competing ideologies. They map perfectly onto very distinct cosmic roles. When you map it out, Taoism aligns perfectly with the nature of heaven. Buddhism corresponds directly to the earthly realm and its cyclical nature, and Confucianism focuses squarely on humanity, basically teaching us how to live and govern. So they're really like three distinct puzzle pieces making up one complete cosmic picture. To really wrap our heads around this, think about how a modern nation is run, right? You've got your three branches of government, legislative, judicial, and executive, and if one of those fails, the whole nation suffers. Well, cosmic management works exactly the same way. Heaven, earth, and humanity are those three essential pillars. You absolutely need this tripartite system to manage the cosmos. Which brings us to Section 3, a universe in chaos. Basically, what happens when this perfectly balanced system completely fails? Because when the management of the universe fails, you don't just get a little disorganized, you get Samgachakran. We are talking severe confusion, insanity, and the total derangement of the three realms. The universe literally lost its mind. The stakes were so high here that it completely overwhelmed the existing cosmic order and even the divine beings themselves. So, what actually caused this massive systemic meltdown? Well, the primary culprit was us. Specifically, accumulated human grudges, known as Wanhan. All of humanity's unresolved grievances, resentments, and anger basically acted as this incredibly toxic element. And over time, this negative energy built up so much that it literally paralyzed the heavens and the earth. The Supreme Being, Sangje, actually described this chaos perfectly. He said, "Guests in the east, guests in the west, guests without a host in heaven and earth." It paints such a vivid picture, doesn't it? Just a cosmos completely full of wandering, displaced entities. Everyone is a guest, but nobody is actually stepping up to take responsibility as the true host. This sheer level of absolute chaos triggered these desperate pleas from the divine realm, essentially forcing a cosmic intervention. But here's the thing, the divine really didn't want to micromanage a broken system. As Sangje states, "My grievance is boundless, but I have no choice but to take on this task." They were literally forced to intervene just to save existence from total annihilation. And that leads us to Section 4, the power of humanity, and the ultimate solution to all this chaos. You see, fixing a broken universe isn't just a job for the heavens, it actually falls on humanity. But there is a huge catch here. The hardest to remodel is human remodeling, because humans have free will. Redesigning the heavens and the earth? That's simple for the divine, but fixing humanity is the ultimate challenge. We can't just be reprogrammed, we actually have to choose to change. And making that choice brings us right to Injen Wichan, the era of human veneration. This represents a massive, massive shift in the cosmic hierarchy. Instead of humans just bowing down to the heavens or the earth, humanity actually has to step up and become the central managing axis of the cosmos. We basically transition from being the cause of the illness to becoming the primary doctors. So, what does this new role actually look like in practice? Well, first, we have to resolve all those accumulated grudges, that Hawan we talked about, to clear out the toxic energy. Second, we have to actively unite the separated realms. Third, we've got to take on the daily, gritty work of cosmic management to keep the universe balanced. And by doing all that, humanity literally earns the right to wield the power of creation itself, moving from passive observers to fully empowered managers. Now, it's really important to note that these aren't just some dusty, ancient concepts. This framework actively bridges esoteric theology with modern academic analysis. Today, scholars like Choi Won-hyuk are rigorously examining Dasun thought, its cyclical economic views, and these really complex dynamics of yin and yang, bringing these historical systems right into contemporary academic discourse. So we've journeyed from the absolute, limitless origin of Mugek through the total insanity caused by human grievances, all the way to the realization that humanity itself is the ultimate solution. As we enter this era of human veneration, how will you use your free will to manage the cosmos? Because even if you view this purely as a philosophical metaphor, the takeaway is absolutely empowering. The state of our universe depends entirely on the choices we make. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.